Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very interesting and undoubtedly a very polarizing watch review for you all. It is a brand new watch sent over by Novamos, the Shanghai titanium mechanical watch. Now, full disclosure, they sent this piece in for me to do an honest review of, and I don't have to send the watch back, but as always, my thoughts and opinions are 100% my own. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I tend to review more traditional and classic styled watches on this channel, but every now and again, something like this watch catches my eye and I just have to get them on the wrist to check them out. And this is the case with the Shanghai. When I looked at the watch and the specs, I was quite intrigued to find out more about this watch. I've spent a couple of weeks with this watch on the wrist so that I can give you a full comprehensive review, so let's get into it. Here are the specs of this watch. We have a case diameter of 50 millimeters. This is a very large watch with quite the wrist presence. With the recessed lug areas cut into the case, the lug to lug height is actually 47.5 millimeters. Case thickness surprisingly is just under 12 millimeters, but if you include the dome sapphire crystal, it comes in at just a touch over 14 millimeters thick. The lug width is 24 millimeters that does taper down to 20 millimeters. This watch has a 50-meter water resistance rating, so it can handle rain and hand washing without any issues, but you would not want to take this into the pool or ocean. The leather strap is supple with a nice padding and matching color stitch. It broke in really fast, it's very comfortable on the wrist, and it's secured by a full titanium tang buckle with Novamos branding etched into it. The buckle matches the case material, which is also a single solid piece of titanium alloy that has been created using a 50-ton pressure stamping process that creates this solid block shape that is then carved meticulously by a 6-axis CNC machine. So that's how we're getting left with all of these subtle and intricate details of a mountainous terrain met with ocean waves along the edges. Absolutely stunning when you see the detail work, especially looking at it up close with the macro lens. And I have to say the last step of this process is to then be heated to 1100 degrees Celsius and centered for a 24-hour period. This will result in the small ice flower pattern and flake texture that you'll see on the colored versions of the watch. On this obsidian black case that I have here, it instead has a smooth matte black color and texture. Now, what I love about the colored versions is that each one is unique, like a snowflake, and has a similar look as if it was crafted from meteorite. The case is extremely light for its size, coming in at a total of 90 grams with the strap included. And the strap is also positioned so that it curves downward at a 28-degree angle, giving plenty of wrist sizes the ability to wear this watch. The crown is also made from this smooth matte black titanium and has subtle Novamos branding etched into it. Now, the design ethos of this brand is very intentional, focusing on the amalgamation of delicate and robust elements. There is the very obvious yin and yang aspect to the watch. You have soft leather paired with robust titanium, mountainous terrain met with a smooth crystal clear sapphire lens that rests upon the case like a perpetual dewdrop. Also, the smooth roundness of that crown that controls the jagged and toothy gears of the movement. Top it off with the design of the bird-shaped seconds hand resting upon a curved branch, and you're grounded back to nature despite all of the man-made elements of this watch. Now, that bird design is a reference to inspiration from the saying, quote, "It's not that the bird cannot fly over the ocean, but that there is no longer anything waiting on the other side." Just something to ponder. The watch is being powered by what Novamos has referenced as the 6600A high precision mechanical movement. Now, this automatic movement is a high beat movement, beating at 4 Hz or 28,800 vibrations per hour, and has a power reserve of about 40 hours. My particular watch has an accuracy rating of between 15 to 17 seconds per day, with a 0.1 beat error and an amplitude that's nice and healthy. This watch supports hand winding and hacking. Now, I do have to point out that there is a ghost position on this crown, meaning that this movement could support a date function, but the date wheel mechanisms have been removed, so in position 1, nothing happens. The movement is highly decorated with perlage and brushing along the bridges, the rotor, and many other components. There are also mixtures of gold and silver toned parts, speckled by blue screws and these pink rubies. The Rayhot is sloped in a pearlescent black color with the tiny Novamos logo located at 12 o'clock in this fluorescent green Luminova paint. This is also paired with raindrop shapes in the same Luminova paint at each hour marker, with smaller white drops printed at each minute marker. And lastly, we have the handset with sharp triangular shapes on the minute and hour hand, and again that curved branch with the bird combination for the seconds hand. All done in high polish with a touch of super Luminova paint that has been applied. Now the Lume is not as strong as I had hoped it would be. The handset is noticeably brighter than the hour markers along the chapter ring. This makes it difficult to read the time in complete darkness, and this leads me to the legibility of this watch. Skeleton dials are known for being difficult to read the time on, especially at a quick glance, and because the handset is smaller and the handset does not fully extend to the chapter ring, it does take me a moment to get the time right. The sapphire is also box dome, so you get some reflections and distortion along the edge, which is beautiful despite it having anti-reflective coating applied. And I would have loved to have seen this watch with some nice contrast colored hands to make legibility of the time easier. Instead of metal edges, it would have been more ideal to have a matte white handset with Lume in the center, or something in a different color that doesn't blend in with the metals of the movement. Now lastly, moving to the back of the watch, we see that there is an exhibition screw down case back and this hidden storage compartment off to the side. Now this is a first for me. I've never seen something like this on a watch before, and it is an actual functional compartment. So you just carefully pop off the lid by prying under the scalloped edge, and you will see also the serial number of the watch etched into the base as well. I have watch number 69 of 999. This watch is very unique. It's been a conversation starter with people who have seen it out in public, and the general consensus is that people assume it's reminiscent of the moon. A lot of people ask me if it's a moon watch, and that could be due to the color and shape of the watch. After explaining the terrain pattern and the design ethos of it, they definitely understand, but the initial thought is always moon watch. The watch has incredible wrist presence, so this is definitely for people who have the confidence to pull it off and want to stand out. It's eccentric and bold. I love the titanium build quality and color. I just wish the hands were easier to read and that the Lume was a bit better. So if this watch speaks to you, or if you're interested in checking out some of the other color options, check out the links in the description and in the comments. I'm not making any commission off of these links, but I hope that this review has been helpful for those of you who are interested. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I will see you all at the next one. Until then, may the Schwartz be with you. Take care.